Hello there Minerva makers. Today I am doing a little sewing tutorial with a technique. I want to show you how to use boning. Boning is a stiffening piece of plastic that you put in garments to make them more structured. You often see it in corsets, you see it sometimes in the side of bra bands or in the side of swimwear, and it gives garments much more support, especially if you've got a larger bust. The thing with boning is you want to make sure that although it gives you that support, that it's also going to be comfortable as well. So I've got a few tips to show you if you're going to use boning. If you've never chosen it before because you think it's a really complicated thing, it's not actually that complex. You just need to make sure that you get the comfort fit correct. I'll show you a few boning products today. So there's a couple that we've got on our website. One is with a little sleeve on the outside, a little piece of channeling. You can remove it or you can use it to help you if you're making something unlined. The construction of boning really does depend on whether you're lining your garment or not, so you'll see both of those techniques in today's tutorial. This corset pattern is the Alana corset from Booby Traps, and Booby Traps is a lingerie pattern company and we sell lots and lots of their patterns. There really are a huge range of lingerie sewing patterns. There's bras and knickers and bustiers, underwide bras, not wide bras. There's absolutely loads to choose from, more than just your one pattern wonder. There's a huge range in different styles. They're also a really inclusive size range. This corset would look really good with wide palazzo trousers as an evening outfit, or you could use it as part of a prom dress or evening dress ensemble where you put a skirt of some description on the bottom. So if you can use boning, then you do actually open up the world of evening wear as well, where you can have strapless tops. I'm going to go and work over at the table with my overhead camera and we'll take a look at some of the techniques for applying boning. And now we can start to look at some of the boning that we can use. So there's a couple of different types. I thought I'd show you a couple of our products and it depends what your sewing skill is. There's this one, which is called Featherlight, and it's the plastic casings. It's like a plastic strip and it's inside a channeling. It's a bit like bra channeling that you put an underwire in, and it's already stitched down on each side. So you can either machine sew over the top of their basting stitches that are holding that casing together, or you can hand sew that on depending on how steep the curves are on your corset. If you've got quite a steep bust curve, sometimes that's quite tricky to sew into the machine, so you might want to do your two front centre front ones by hand and maybe the rest on the machine. And there's this one, which is really similar. It's not called Featherlight, and actually it's lighter than this one, and this has got a boning that is inside two pieces of fabric and that's glued down each side, and there's plenty of space there for you to get your sewing machine onto that piece of fabric. You can use a zipper foot to get a little bit closer or an adjustable foot, and it's quite curly because it comes in a roll, but you can, with your iron on a low temperature, you can press it out a little bit if it's popping up and getting in your way. So those are the two pieces of boning that we're going to use today. So I want to make sure that I'm going to get that 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. I need it because my boning has got to fit in a channeling. I'm going to be making another seam for that to go in. I've put a little bit of tape on my foot plate. If you put the tape up here, it's almost too late. By the time you get up there, your needle's already drifted into the wrong position. So here I can keep the fabric moving along here. So I'm not really even looking at the needle. I'm looking at where the fabric's feeding in. If you're not used to using a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, you trim it down, for example. It does seem very wide, but you need it. You mustn't drift into a narrower position. You will then press the seams open, even though you're going to have them pressed to the side when you make the channeling. If you press them open, you get a really smooth finish on the right side, and then we will push them to one side to put the boning in. Don't try and do each boning channel and then move on to the next one, because this will be really in the way and this curve with the boning in will be popping up all over the place. So remove the boning so that your work is really nice and pliable, and then you can get your accurate top stitching. Where you've got a curve, you need to make sure that all the fabric has been released, because you don't want to have a pucker in there, because that will show on the right side. So go quite slow on the curves, really making sure that each side is flat. You can see there it's flat here, but even when it kicks there for the waistline, it goes here, nothing is catching in that area there. The hardest channels to make are these ones on the bust, especially the larger the size and the bigger the bust. This is a size 16 corset. So for these ones, because I want it to look evenly top stitched on the right side, matching all of these, then I'm going to tack these down and try and eliminate any sort of little pinches that I might get in the fabric. Feel one there, there's one there. I don't even have to do it all the way down. I just need to make sure that I'm getting a smooth line around the bust curve. And also give that another press. So all of these should be showing from the right side the 1 centimetre. I've taken the plastic out of the casing. I'm going to use that casing for something else, maybe a bra underwire, or it would still take a piece of elastic if you wanted to use it as a casing on elasticated waist dress. And I'm going to cut and prepare all of my pieces, round off the ends and put them in place. I round off the end by just adding a little bit of heat to the end of the boning and just curving it off on a piece of denim or thick fabric. Don't use your fingers because you'll burn your fingers. They now can slide into the casings that we've made, but you don't want them to go right to the end. You need to leave a seam allowance at the top and the bottom. This is the same technique if you apply your boning to the lining, so you would need to make sure that the boning stays below the seam allowance so that you can attach your lining. You need your boning to make the shape of your body, so these are curving in, out at the top, out at the waist. Same for this backside one. This one is quite a straight one, so you could press your boning under a press cloth and straighten it out to get a straighter structure. For the bust curve, then you might want to use your boning so that you take the natural curve of it and insert it so that that makes the structure come out in a concave curve. So work with your boning. It's not like that and you're stuck with that. You can change the shape of this. Here's one that I've straightened out. I pressed it with steam through a piece of denim. So now I can put this one in here. and this creates a much straighter shape. These can be pressed inside the seam allowances afterwards as well if you want to change the accent of a structure that's created with the boning. I've pressed out my bones so that they're nice and flat, and I'm going to hand stitch these ones because this one is in a really nice flat casing. Great if you're not lining. I've got a bit of a mix on this corset, so this one's in a channeling with a top stitching, and in this one I'm going to hand sew the binding to the seam allowance. It's going to use a whip stitch, so there's a little bit of movement in the boning so that when the bust is in there it's not breaking open my hand stitching seams. You've got quite a lot of control over this, so if you've been finding with this channeling method you couldn't get your channeling very smooth over the bust area, I know I had to absorb a few little puckers here, so I've decided rather than putting the boning in and pushing those puckers out to the front, I'm going to hand stitch them onto the back. You won't see any of this from the front, you're just stitching the covered boning to the seam allowance, so your needle isn't going through onto the front. I've top stitched this because I was creating casings for the others, so I wanted them all to look the same, but this is the method you use if you don't want to have any of your boning showing at all. Okay, everything's boned. Just because I've been handling it a lot, I have just overlocked along the edges, and now you can make a few choices, so it depends what finish you want for your overall corset. So I've got my lining, you can put it right sides together and you can sew along the top and the bottom and turn it out and press it, and then everything is enclosed. I'm going to have everything behind the lining, but you could do it so that your boning is in the lining and then you attach the top and the bottom. If you wish your top not to have any top stitching, so if you want your corset just to have a very plain front seam finish, so if it's just the seam line, then you can put your boning into the lining, and this is normally the preferred method. So if you look at a pattern for an evening dress with a strapless top, then you'll see that the boning is inserted into the lining, and you can do it the same way that I've just shown you, or some people split the seams open. I think it's a bit weaker when you do that, but I quite like to press both seam allowances to one side. The only thing you might find with a lining is that your boning will poke through the fabric because it won't be maybe as strong as your outer fabric. If you think that might happen, then you can buy some end caps. So they're little plastic caps that slide over the end of the boning. They're 8mm wide, so you need to make sure that your boning is the correct size for that end cap. But they help at the top and the bottom to make sure that your boning doesn't poke through your lining and make your outfit really uncomfortable. I'll list a few different options of our boning materials over on our website below the video. So there is ones that are covered, like I showed you before. There is just plastic boning on its own, so you can have one without a sleeve if you know you're not going to use the sleeve, or you definitely know you're lining your item, so it's all going to be enclosed. There's a couple of other more niche ones. There's ones with felt, there's ones with different sleeves on the outside. So take a look at what we have on our website and choose the best boning for your project. Let's take a look at some different projects and fabrics that you could try if you've got some boning skills. Today I have used a corsetry fabric with the Alana pattern from Booby Traps. It's a really inclusive pattern with a good range of sizes. It also has lots of versatility for different closures. This company, Booby Traps, also has a bustier pattern which you can use with a brocade, a firm fabric to hold the boning shape. If cosplay is your thing, you can check out our cosplay patterns. I've chosen a two-tone taffeta. There are historical corset patterns, but you can just wear them as fashion items with a textured or a raised brocade or a firm fabric. You can see this version here is used as a fashion item. If you're looking for something more mainstream, this new look pattern can be worn with a skirt or trousers, and I've paired that with a dupion. But if you can bone an item, you can make jumpsuits, evening dresses, bustiers in different fabrics, that's a pleather, vintage dresses, or any corset that you can wear as part of a suit. I hope that's helped you today and demystified putting some boning into a garment. It really does make a huge difference to the fit, but you do need to get the comfort right with all those little tricks of smoothing off the boning and making sure that it's not going to poke out through the fabric. We would love to see what you've been making, whether you've used this technique or not. We'd like to see what you've been up to, what you're sewing, what patterns you're choosing, what fabric you're pairing them with, and anything else that you would like to share with the sewing community. Do head over to Minerva, make a free account and share your makes. Thank you very much for watching. Do come back for more tutorials soon.